Today have the pleasure to have with us again, because again he has been already a guest of our Mind the Chat, not with me, with my partner in crime, Marco Marinucci, Nathalie Doré. Nathalie is the Chief Impact and Innovation Officer at BNP Paribas Cardif. Just to give you a short introduction, at least what I got from, again, knowing you guys since a while, again, we can say that BNP checks every box of open innovation implementation practices. I think you have an Intrapreneurship program. You try to extract a contribution of innovation for your employees. We work with startups at different stages through acceleration programs managed by you, managed by 4 parties. You invest into startups directly off balance, but we have also a VC fund, and then you also sort of CVC as a service together with Cathay Innovation. Again, very, very broad positioning. I think might be super useful for our audience. Nathalie, first of all, beyond introducing yourself properly, because your role is even larger than what I just described, present what is currently the different, the footprint of BNP Paribas in the open innovation areas, and also helping our audience that most of the time are CXO of startups, understanding what are the proper door to knock at while trying to engage with a corporate like yours that has been recognized recently as one of the corporate startup stars. So meaning that you guys have been doing something good. So let's start from there. And first of all, welcome.
Okay, thank you, Alberto. I'm very pleased to be with you. First of all, on the question of my range of activities. So yes, I'm Chief Impact and Innovation Officer at BNP Paribas Cardif. I used to work a lot. I did all my career on innovation and digital, and we decided to merge with impact development because we are convinced that it's very important to grow, but it's definitely important to grow sustainably. So that's the orientation. And for the group, for BNP Paribas Group, I also coordinate the innovation community for IPS, which is the Investment and Protection Services Division. Basically, there are 3 activities at the group level. First one is on the retail banking side. The second one is on the corporate and institutional clients, CIB. And last but not least, IPS, Investment and Protection Services. So it's a pool of business line with insurance, but also asset management, wealth management, and real estate. Like that on all the, we ambition to be a big player on long-term savings. On all these aspects, we join forces between the business lines and try to innovate together. To do so, we use different vehicles. Usually, the ones you are talking about, usually it's global vehicles. So it's for the 3 divisions I talk about. We can start with the accelerators you mentioned. So we have historically, since 2017, a partnership with Plug and Play, and we have a global accelerator as the bank is very international. We are a top leader European bank, but also present in the US, in Asia, and the insurance we are present also in LATAM. So it was very important to have a partner such as Plug and Play, which can have an international footprint. So we have this accelerator with them, operated by BWAC, which is the transformation hub of BNP Paribas. And the program was working well. It's a 6-month acceleration program. We did more than 60 pilots with the startups, and we decided, so that's the the news, we decided to have additional programs, BUP programs to do acceleration with some specificity. And the last one was the BUP program for positive impact startups. So we launched it in 2023. It's a 12-month program, so it's a bit longer. And the idea is really to scale the positive impact startup with them on both on social and environmental mission. And we do it also with EDEC entrepreneur and with the retail banking side of the bank. So that's what is new on the accelerator side. But we still have the BUP main program still up and running since 2017, and for this one it's more mature and international startups. We launched also a new program called BUP for French early stage startups. So sometimes we have some verticals, dedicated programs, but so we started with one, now we have 4, and we operate them with the group.
So let's stop you here, because I think I just noticed in looking at your title and looking at the latest initiative that you just launched, that is the one for the positive impact startups. And your title is Innovation and Impact. And I think this is not just wording, but is quite a relevant topic I think it's relevant today to try to associate as much as possible innovation with an impact. And the next question is a question for us, but also for you, is how do we measure impact for open innovation? Because again, we just launched a report that actually is based on all the interview that we ran during the Corporate Startup Stars award ceremony. So you remember, we asked you a question. We discussed a lot about what are the areas, what is the impact of open innovation? And the answers were, okay, all of them say, for us, open innovation is a driver of strategy evolution. All of them, they say. Then obviously there is sustainability, that is the next big topic, financial return, and technology impact. These are the main ones. And then a few of them say, oh, there's also some positive branding associated with them. A few of them talking about diversity, a few of them talking about culture. But then when we ask it, you guys, about what KPIs are you using, and they say that most of you are using financial related KPIs, while strategy, despite being the most important goal that you are trying to measure, as very, very few KPIs associated to that. And the same we can say for other areas like cultural transformation, diversity, positive impact. So again, the question for you, and there's a question for everybody, because I think it's one of the big topics that we need to start seriously discussing about. How do we, first of all, what is the impact that we are trying to have by running these open innovation activities? And secondly, if it's true that anything that you can measure has little value for the company, how do we measure the value that you are producing? Because I'm totally in and convinced that you are producing, your corporate is running open innovation, producing a lot of value. But on the other hand, I see a lot of hurdles in measuring, tracking, in showing up. So how do you do that? How do you do at BNP? What are your opinions here? I think it's a big topic. I would like to chime in.
Yeah, it's very important, and for me, and it's very important to always combine financial performance and extra financial performance, because at the end we are not a non-profit neither, so we have to take care of both. So as an example, at BNP Paribas Cardif, we have an innovation factory where we operate the BUP program with the group, and we did change the methodology to insert ESG criteria and sustainability criteria. So we were in a lean startup mode with business model canvas. So now we have additional canvas on the sustainability side and on what are the objectives. So could be positive impact objectives. I can give you recent example with we changed the covers for HIV people in France, which we want to be covered for a loan, for insurance loan, a mortgage protection insurance. With this change, now we are able to cover 90% of people that are sick with HIV and that want to loan. To do a loan for a house until 1 million euro. So that's a social innovation. And the positive impact is the difference between the percentage of people who were covering before and the new percentage of people who are the 90% we are covering now. So this is an example of creating a positive impact. We can have also other example of avoidance of CO2 emissions as an example with doing some changes in terms of energy usage in an innovation. So yes, we measure it. It's very important. We measure it for the program we are talking about, where we create innovation, but we also did adapt the grid for investment to have some criteria, environmental and social, around the startup we intend to invest in. Of course, sometimes all the criteria are not known when it's early stage startup, but it's also a good conversation with the startups, and they appreciate that, to understand what are the extra financial criteria they will be measured on and where they need to be cautious. And so we also try to share with the startups the experience we have in sustainability at BNP Paribas Cardif level, but also at BNP Paribas level, the group level. We have a big network of experts, which is called Nest. And the experts, we can invite them to these meetings with the startups. So for us, we think it's a virtuous circle to do so, and it's the way to grow sustainably and to be responsible in the world we live in, that is not is full of challenges that we don't want to deteriorate.
Perfect. No, I think this is a big topic, again, still to be properly scoped, because I perceive that is this substantial mismatch between all the value that we are, organization like yours, inside corporation, are creating for the corporate environment, but also the difficulty to show it. And so also the indicators, some of them are really able to grasp the value that has been put on the ground. And I think this is a big topic, particularly with some companies that currently, in an uncertain economic climate, might be tempted to downsize budget on initiatives are not clearly producing value. If you're doing something that produces something that is not that clear, if the top level buy-in is not there, it's probably easier that it might be probably got cut or got some significant downsizing. That would be a pity, because I strongly believe that we are producing a lot of value here. Going back to the description of activities, so essentially we have on the acceleration part, as discussed, you have 4 initiatives now. You've been rerunning since a while. You added a program dedicated to positive impact startup. I think that the main trend, from what I got from what you were saying, is that you are introducing more and more vertical initiatives.
Yeah.
Addressing specific topics. So this is probably the trend. Rather having large platform that you already have is going versus a little bit more vertical, more targeting some specific needs. So, and
yeah, it comes with maturity.
Yeah, it comes with maturity. I think the corporate accelerators is a tool that has been around since a while, so it's pretty normal that it's evolving. And I believe that might be also interesting to understand how this program overlap and add synergies with the venture clients, substantially with the real partnership, with the real collaboration between the group and the startup that are engaged through those channels.
So with the main program we have since 2017, we have more than 60 pilots up and running, as I said, and it's 40% in terms of transformation rate. So I don't know what is the average. I didn't find the figure in the last study Mind the Bridge did. I would be happy to have it, but yeah, we have 40% of the pilots that are live in production, and we measure.
No, 40% is pretty high percentage. Again, based on our analysis, technically speaking, is 1 out of 2 out of 3. So substantially, you're totally in the range. The real issue is out of the 40% that convert into concrete collaboration, what we are further noticing is that the contribution to value production of the company is not equally distributed. Substantially, maybe you convert based on your 60 pilots, 40%, we're talking about 25-ish collaboration. Realistically, based on our data points, probably 1 or 2 of them are being substantial change driver, while the other are not produce so much value. So this is what we typically see. There is a very, very concentration of value in a few initiatives. It's totally normal in the world of innovation.
Maybe because it has improved. I think what has helped is that when we started the program, it was the sourcing was operated by Plug and Play as planned. And then we were inviting the different business lines to discover the startup and to try to do pilots with the startup. And what we changed in the previous years, in the last years, is that now it's the business lines that are coming with the topics they want to test, and the sourcing is done accordingly. Can seem obvious, but we started the other way, and I think it's we are more efficient now, and it's more in line with the strategy of all the business lines and what they expect.
Perfect. Yes. And the next immediate question is your role as an investor. Again, you have multiple ways of investing into startup. Invest off balance, then you invest through a four-party fund. Actually, a fund that is yours. If I got it right, is Open Tech Venture, and then you have also the C.Entrepreneurs, the one that you run with Cathay Pacific. What are the different tools? How do you manage investments into startups, and why do you invest into startups?
Okay, so there is a first fund. It's not only startup, but it's the investment made by BNP Paribas Development on our own funds. This one is dedicated to SME, could be startups, and mid-sized company. So it could be startups, scale-ups. This one is an historical one, and the idea is really to support the development of them. Operatech Ventures, you mentioned it. It's the CVC, the Corporate Venture fund of BNP Paribas. It's managed by BNP Paribas Asset Management. We created it in 2018, and we do strategic investments. So it's really linked to the core business of the bank, such as in the past, Chime in the US, the digital bank was one of the investment, or Tink on the open banking was also one of an investment. So it's always very fintech oriented. So you mentioned C.Entrepreneurs, which is a fund managed by Cathay Innovation, a fund from BNP Paribas Cardif and Cathay Innovation. This one is dedicated to really develop the future distributors of BNP Paribas Cardif. So this is the insurance arm, and we are a B2B2C company. So relying on distributors such as banks, telecoms, automotive industry. So here with C.Entrepreneurs, we really look for the new distributors. So definitely digital platforms such as Neon in Brazil. We did this investment a few years ago. More close to us in France, we had several investments on the distribution side. You have the website of if you type in Google C.Entrepreneurs Cathay Innovation, you have all the portfolio, it's here again we gain in maturity because we have now the investment, but we have also the partnerships of distribution with the investment. I was talking about France, BIM. We did the investment recently. It's a do-it-yourself toolkit. It's not only do-it-yourself now; they have extended their range. Solar panels. They are based in Nantes, and we invested in them, and now there are several partnerships discussed with them. So here again, we gain maturity to better combine the investment and the partnership, the distribution partnership, involving more the business in the discussion more early on. So this is also what is new with C.Entrepreneurs. And what is new also, we have still with Cathay, we have the fund which is called the Inno3. It's the third fund with Cathay, and both BNP Paribas and BNP Paribas Cardif are investors on the fintech vertical. It's a multi-topic fund. So still working a lot with the open innovation world on the investment side, even though we could see a slowdown in the IPOs, and the market was not very open and easy this last month, but we are still active and support the startup. Also, we support them as a banker, as you know, and we have a network of WeRInnovation, offices to support the startup beyond banking. On the banking side, if you take as an example the next 40 startup, which has the future leaders, we hope, in France, the French tech, we are the banker of more than 80% of them. So it's a big, for us, it's a big partnerships with lots of different solutions we can provide to the startups, from banking to investment to partnerships on distribution. And we can bring on the table different assets. I think now also there is a maturity that, the startups are coming with good tech, good knowledge of the tech. Also, more often better customer experience, because they are, I think, natively using all these new methodologies to be very client-oriented, to delete all the pain points, etc. But on the bank side, we come with good expertise on the risk, and also if we look at the insurance activity, how to manage this risk, and on the data management also. And we have a network, we have some clients we can test on. So we can see that it's different things that we bring to the table. And we try to have it be a win-win at the end. We have, of course, some experiments that didn't work, but we learn from them, and we accept that as part of the game.
Yeah, I think this is a part of the game. I think one game that you are at BNP is pretty active is also the world of M&A. I think this is a big topic of large corporation acquiring startups. I think remember Gambit Financial Solution, Cantox. I think BNP is also quite active, and probably some strong strategic fit and merge also to merge with kind of companies. Can you make a couple of examples in those areas?
On the M&A side?
Yeah.
So at the group level, some well-known M&A activities on startup. I can give you two examples in fintech. We'll stay in fintech. Nickel, which was a few years ago, but it's a good success stories, and now several business lines are working with Nickel. They started obviously with the bank account, but now they also propose home insurance, and we operate it at BNP Paribas Cardif level. So we really developed Nickel and did some synergies with products that the bank can provide. So that's good. More recently, Floa, which is on the fraction payment. How do you say that in English? You pay in different, in 2 or 3 times. Buy now, pay later.
Buy now, pay later, yes.
Yeah, I was looking for
Klarna version, yes. The Klarna.
Sorry. And also in the past, we have acquired Gambit, which is a robo-advisory we are using for, as an example, retirement advisory.
And now it's a subsidiary of BNP, right?
Gambit.
Yeah, so
it's part of BNP Paribas.
It's an example of becoming a part of your current activities. So, yes. And Cantox, yes, it was another example that I was referring before. Yes, so a lot of stuff, and I think it's important to regularly.
We screen and source a lot of startups. As an example, just for the BUP program I was talking about, the core one, it's like more than 400 startups screen every year. So we have this this screening that can feed different part of the bank and different partnerships we can do.
Just to close our conversation, what has been the main lessons learned along this long journey that you have run? Again, you've been part of this journey since a while. Again, you have a pretty long experience in open innovation. I think, what has been the main lesson learned?
The first one is, whatever the context, definitely open innovation is here to stay, and we are in a context that is challenging, but we never said, okay, we will stop some program or we will stop doing open innovation. This is something that is key for us, and do it with the open ecosystem is very important for us. So I would say, to have some conviction and to push them even in difficult times. And there is a return, because at the end, we are well connected in the ecosystem. We have good relationships. We talked a lot about startups, but we have also good relationships with academics. To do open innovation, it's also important to look what is in the more at the university level. We have a partnership, as an example, with ESSEC on it's a share on digital disruption. So we work with them. Okay, what are the trends? What could be? So really not being alone. Even if you're a big player, stay open and collaborate. This is even in difficult times when people say that finally it's maybe not a priority for us. It stays a priority, and tech in general is also here to stay, even though we could see in the last years that tech can also create challenges in terms of mental health, in terms of carbon emissions. We can see lots of challenges around tech, but tech is also here to stay. And this is why we merged the impact sustainability topics with the innovation topics, because we want to use tech, but we want to do it in a sustainable way. And this is also a reason why we did the partnerships with Mistral AI, because we think it's good to use artificial intelligence, but we have to be careful to use the right size of model to do the right things, because otherwise we will overconsume. So having all this awareness, education, we invest a lot in learnings. We have the Sustainability Academy all over the group, and we are all educated. I don't know if it's the right way to say it, but we cannot say, oh, we didn't know. So this is a concern we have since the beginning, and it's very very important for us to develop technology, but to have the big picture to be able to do it responsibly. Also, in the lesson learned, we can see also that this hybrid world, there's no digital world. It's one world we are living in, and the hybrid world is here to stay. But here again, with some trends, we have to take care of. As I was talking about mental health, we need some disconnection. We need right usage of the right tools. We need also to do some digital cleaning and digital. So we have to find the right balance on that, and it's part of the projects. It's part of the solutions we want to put in place. At the end, it's for a client. We don't do that for us. We do it to be more satisfactory for the clients, and also more efficient for the company. So it's very important to be clear on what are the objectives, why we do that, and then we have the programs, we have the vehicles. It's finally means, but it's a challenge. Challenging years with the strategy driving the actions. We try to stick to that and to be careful. To stay. This is helped by the strategic plan we have. Currently, it's growth, technology, sustainability. We are now starting to work on the next one. But being focus on serving this strategy is very, very important. And this is part of the lesson learned. I gave the example as an example for the accelerator to start with, taking the objectives of the business lines and then executing with the startups can seem obvious, but this is how we stick better to the strategy of the bank as a whole.
Yeah, makes sense. And I think the point that despite the current economic climate, you still are not, you're keeping the foot on the accelerator on this topic. Sounds very, very logic, but we are witnessing many corporates that are lifting the foot a while. Some of them are moving the foot out of the accelerator. And I believe is wrong, but the fact that some corporates still keeping the innovation mandate, putting the innovation still at the center of the village despite the circumstances, I think is a powerful message. And thank you for sharing. I think it might be a good example, a good point also for others that maybe on those times are a bit less, a bit confused, because again, when you have to fight a bit more harder for surviving, it's difficult to look forward. But
you need to have long-term appetite. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Perfect. Thank you so much, Nathalie, for our, let's say, usual conversation. And,
thank you, Alberto.
With the good work, and we'll touch base in a year to see what has been the news out of the new product that you launched and what is still planning to do it. Thank you so much.
With pleasure. Thank you.